Hey, what's up, man? It's your boy Savallis here. I'm coming at y'all again live. Like I said, man, I'm a man of my word. Y'all been asking how come I go live more often, so here I go, man. So just to recap, man, what I did about like a couple weeks ago, I was going over the coronavirus and all that stuff. You know, what God wanted me to deliver to you guys. And a lot of people, man, they've been asking me like, as far as the tithing thing that I was talking about tithing the 10% out of your paycheck, and your life will change. So what I meant by that is that it's the only place in the Bible that God says to test Him. You won't find any other place in the Bible that God, allows individuals to put what He says to the test. If you look at other scriptures in the Bible, it also specifies that a wicked generation asks for a sign, meaning that some individuals, in order for them to truly believe that it is a God, they have to see something physically. But let me recap on that, man, because the more and more I listen to the app, the Bible app, that's what I do. That's another thing y'all should do. Y'all should download that Bible app. And the thing is, I'm the type of person, like now, the 21st century, like a lot of people, you can either read or you can listen. I listen to the Bible. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I listen to it for hours sometimes. So there's nothing wrong with listening to the Bible as well. So, like I said, it does specify in the Bible that, a wicked generation asks for a sign, meaning that some people, in order for them to truly believe, they have to see it physically with their own eyes. Now, this is the kicker about stuff like that. I'm going to be honest with you. If you look back in the scriptures, even, when God took the Israelites out of Egypt in the book of Exodus, when you listen or read the book of Exodus, you can also look at physical stories in the book of Exodus too. Even though I want you to understand how us as individuals or humans, our mindset, you know what I'm saying? How easy it is for us to actually overlook something, even if it's right in front of our eyes. So remember in the book of Exodus, if you're not familiar with the book of Exodus, I recommend that you read the whole book so you get the whole scope of the whole story. But anyway, God was pretty much, by day, it was a pillar of fire, pretty much a cloud guiding the Israelites through the desert. And at night, the cloud turns it's like a fiery cloud. So, in every time the cloud would stop, God is telling the Israelites, hey, okay, we're going to, chill here or relax here for a couple of days, however you want to put it. And when the cloud started to move, like lift up and start to move, that was a sign to the Israelites indicating, hey, it's time to continue the journey. So, the reason why I'm bringing this up, because even with that said, and the reason why, I'm requesting that, that you guys go through the whole book of Exodus, because you're going to find when you read the whole book or listen to the whole book, you're going to see the whole process and the promises that was made, to us, to the Israelites, and how even though they seen that those, the pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of cloud by night, they still lacked faith. Meaning that even though God was physically among them, don't get me wrong, God is physically among us now. But back then, the Lord actually revealed Himself, His Holy Spirit within the cloud that actually guided the Israelites through the desert. So even though they seen that with their physical eyes, they still rebelled. Meaning, I'm going to be honest with you, let's be honest, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with having nice things. There's nothing wrong with eating good, you know what I'm saying? If you got the money to eat good, you know what I'm saying? Restaurant, that's one thing I like to do, you know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all might see me out there chilling one day, man. That's one thing. If I can't do nothing else, I want to eat good. You know what I'm saying? Eat good and possibly get a haircut. You know what I'm saying? But eat good, eating good is, it's my pet peeve. You know what I'm saying? But what I mean is that, it's just one of those scenarios that, even though they seen God physically, on a consistent basis, guided them through the desert, they still lacked faith. They still didn't believe. They still wanted what they wanted. And if you get further into the story, you see how God actually provided food for them in the desert. Also, like the clothes that they had on when they left Egypt, the clothes that they had on, they never wore out. Meaning that the same clothes that they left Egypt, 40 years in the desert, they still didn't wear out. The shoes didn't wear out, the clothes didn't wear out, whatever the case. And the further you get into the story, long story short, you're going to find because of the mindset of the individuals that was part of that journey, meaning that God gave them one thing, but they always wanted more. And I guess my thing is that, you know, being content with what you have, indicating that there's nothing wrong with, you know what I'm saying, wanting more. But the thing is, like, I truly believe, and it also says in the Lord's word, in the Bible, that if you seek first the kingdom, everything else will follow. Meaning that if you put your mindset on doing the things of God, like doing His will, the wealth, the cars, the clothes, the good eating, even if it's goals, if it's within God's will for your life, it's going to happen. But notice what I'm saying to you, though. It's one of those scenarios. Nobody's perfect, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the more in line, long story short, to go back to the topic, the more in line, or the more that you're doing God's will, you're going to face spiritual warfare. So to recap what I said about the tithing, about the 10% before taxes. Before taxes, when you get your paycheck from your job, that's the gross income. Before taxes is, before the government take the Social Security tax, the federal withholding tax, if you have like insurance, dental insurance, whatever the case is, the breakdown it gives you. The gross is before everything comes out. So 10% on the top, which means 10% before anything is taken out, before the taxes are taken out. So say, for instance, you made $1,500 on your paycheck. That's the gross, right? So 10% of $1,500 is $150. You know what I'm saying? Now some people argue, I get 10%, but I get 10% after everything else is taken out, when the taxes are taken out, Social Security. I mean, you can do it that way, but it's not the correct way. Meaning that you're giving 10% after everything else is taken out. You know what I'm saying? So if you do the before taxes, because it says in the Bible, bring the whole tithe to the storehouse. And it says, test me in this. That will pour out so many blessings that you don't have enough room to put it.